Imagine waking up in the dead of night, surrounded by a freezing, blinding blizzard. Whatever is outside your tent is so terrifying that you don't even bother to untie the entrance. You take a knife, slice the canvas open from the inside, and run for your life into the pitch-black -30-degree Siberian wilderness. Without your shoes. In February 1959, 9 highly experienced Soviet hikers did exactly that. None of them survived. When search parties finally found their bodies weeks later, what they discovered chilled them to the bone. Some were frozen solid in just their underwear. Others had catastrophic injuries equal to a high-speed car crash, crushed ribs and shattered skulls. Yet there was no external trauma. But it gets worse. 2 of the hikers were missing their eyes. One was missing her tongue, and when investigators tested their clothes, they were highly radioactive. The Soviet government quickly sealed the files, blaming an unknown compelling force. This is the Dyatlov Pass Incident, the greatest unsolved mystery of the 20th century. What really happened on the Mountain of the Dead? Look at these faces. Young, vibrant, and full of life. This group of 9 Soviet students and athletes, led by the charismatic Igor Dyatlov, were among the best. This wasn't just a casual weekend hike. It was a challenging winter expedition across the desolate Ural Mountains, aiming for the peak of Mount Otorten. Their private diaries, recovered from the camp, show a group filled with laughter, singing songs by the campfire, and jokes about Yeti warnings. They were happy. They were prepared for anything the winter could throw at them. As they pushed deeper into the wilderness, their bond grew stronger. These photos tell a story of camaraderie and joy, the story of an ideal journey. But what they didn't know was that in just a matter of days, something unspeakable would wait for them in the dark. Weeks passed with no word from the group. Finally, on February 26th, a Soviet search and rescue team made a chilling discovery on the slopes of Kholat Shakhl, a place the local Mansi people call the Mountain of the Dead. They found the hikers' tent, half buried in the snow. All their belongings, warm clothes, and boots were still inside, but the tent had been slashed open from the inside. Following a trail of barefoot footprints down towards the tree line, under a giant cedar tree, the searchers found the first 2 bodies. They were frozen solid, lying next to the remains of a tiny fire. They were dressed only in their underwear. January 23rd, 1959. The city of Sverdlovsk. A group of 10 hikers gathers at the central train station. They are young, ambitious, and highly experienced. Their leader is 23-year-old Igor Dyatlov, an engineering student known for his meticulous planning and unyielding drive. He promised a challenging but safe Category 3 expedition. Among the group are Zinaida Kolmogorova and Yuri. They laugh, taking photos, saying goodbye to friends. The mood is electric. They board the train, heading north into the frozen unknown of the Ural Mountains. 10 young souls left Sverdlovsk, but only one would ever return. By January 25th, the group reached Vizhay, the last inhabited settlement before the deep wilderness. From there, they hitched a ride on a logging truck, heading further north into the biting cold. But here, fate intervened. Yuri, one of the hikers, began suffering from severe joint and nerve pain. Barely able to walk, he was forced to turn back. He hugged his friend Igor goodbye, devastated to miss the adventure of a lifetime. He didn't know it yet, but that pain saved his life. He would become the only member of the Dyatlov group to survive. Now a group of 9, they pushed forward into the blinding white. For days, they navigated frozen rivers and dense taiga, making good time. But as they approached the mountain pass, a massive snowstorm began to close in, dropping temperatures to -30 degrees Celsius. Visibility vanished. On the evening of February 1st, rather than retreating a mile down to the safety of the tree line, Dyatlov made a fateful decision. They pitched their tent on the exposed, wind-battered slope of Kholat Shakhl, the Mountain of the Dead. It would be their final camp. But the biggest question remains: why? What could terrify 9 seasoned experts so much that they slashed their own tent from the inside and fled into a deadly blizzard without coats or shoes? Theories have raged for decades. Was it a sudden, silent slab avalanche that crushed their shelter? Or was it something more sinister? Classified Soviet military tests? Local hunters reported seeing strange glowing orbs in the sky that very night. The truth is, the evidence doesn't perfectly fit any single theory. To this day, the Dyatlov Pass Incident remains one of the most chilling unsolved mysteries in modern history. 9 brilliant lives, extinguished in the freezing dark. Whatever really happened that night on the slopes of Kholat Shakhl, the mountain kept its secret, and the dead are not talking.